Hi, I'm Hilarey with Wise Hearts Connect, and today we are exploring the acupuncture meridians. So we're working on the kidney meridian today, the kidney, which is the fourth meridian and the fourth organ system. So what I can tell you about the kidneys is that they are one of the most important organ systems. I sometimes have thought about this, that although a person can live on dialysis for a while, but when the kidneys go, it's really the beginning of the end. The kidneys in Chinese medicine are considered to be the savings account of the body. They are the reservoir or the holder of our Jing or essence, our genetic inheritance. And the idea is that when we are born, we're given this genetic inheritance. It stores itself in the kidneys. And over the course of a long lifetime, hopefully, you use up bits of that savings account in exchange for wisdom. So your life force energy translates or is exchanged for wisdom, lived learning, gaining wisdom, which ultimately we would share as we get older in life. As people become elders, they share their wisdom, the things that they've learned through their long life of lots of experience. So the kidney meridian actually begins at the bottom of the foot, the little soft spot at the bottom of the foot where the foot might callus below the toes. And that particular point is such a beautiful point. It's called bubbling spring. And oftentimes I'll touch it with a tuning fork on patients during treatments because I love the imagery. The image of that point, bubbling spring, conjures this image of a spring bubbling up from the top of a mountain. And that fresh, nutrient, effervescent, mineral-rich Cartesian water, it comes up through the bottom of the foot and flushes out all the way to the top of the collarbone, which is where the last point on the kidney meridian is, right? Just under the collarbone, that's a point called kidney 27 or storehouse. And so that meridian, the energy of that particular point flushes out any old stagnant energy, any pain or stuckness, and it flushes out the old stagnant water with pure, clean, effervescent, mineral-rich water to give the body just this flush of good nutrients, of good energy, of cool, pure water. Another image that I have is at the end of a treatment. I like to use it because I have this image of a fresh sheet that you put on a bed, a fitted sheet, and you pull it taut, and it's like everything is smooth and it's all ready for the next thing to kind of get into, to have your rest. But that nothing better than that fresh, crisp sheet on the top sheet of on the bed with no lines in it, just perfectly crisp and ready to go. So the kidney meridian is associated with the energy of willpower and determination, backbone and back strength, the ability to will things into existence, the idea of pushing through maybe something that's hard. It's also associated with back pain. The kidneys literally live in the back. And so in Chinese medicine, if a person comes in with back pain, usually we think about nurturing or nourishing the kidneys on some level. And because it's the foundation of the body, it has to do with healing. It also has to do with ancestral inheritance and ancestral wisdom, genetic gifts that we might receive from our parents. And along that line, healing it. The kidneys rule the bones. So the hard structures, the thing that gives our body strength, right? The bones are sort of the foundation of the system of the body, and bones are very interesting. It's a huge component of the immune system as well. It resides in the bones, building bone strength. In face reading terms, the bone structure is also about that will and determination and being able to push through difficult things. And ultimately, it rules sleep as well, the ability to rest. The kidneys are considered to be, although it has all of that strength, the most yin, or the softest in a way, the most yin aspect of the body. Sometimes in terms of working with people on fertility, fertility is very much associated with the kidneys as a reservoir of where we receive our genetic inheritance. It's also, as parents, the energy that we give to our offspring. And so if a person is working through fertility issues, oftentimes we work on bolstering the kidney strength and supporting the kidneys so that they can support birthing or bringing in the hardiest of constitutional, children And that's also very much actually creativity of any kind. So the kidneys are foundational in terms of energy and foundation and creativity of all sorts beyond just fertility. The emotion of the kidney is fear, and it's sort of that potentially paralyzing, startled fear. And the antidote to fear is trust. And there's another beautiful acupuncture point on the kidney meridian on the ankle, and the point is called illuminated sea. And the image that I offer sometimes patients when they're kind of stuck in a fear situation, perhaps because of a circumstance or a situation in life, is oftentimes I'll touch that point and I'll tell the patient about it. And essentially what it offers is this image that I have of a raft in the middle of the ocean under a moonlit sky. And if a person is, of course, on a raft in the middle of the ocean at night, it could be a very terrifying place to be, right? All alone, not knowing where you're going. And in life, of course, sometimes we find ourselves in those positions. But our choice is two. One is to hold on for dear life with all of our tension to that raft, holding on as the raft undulates through the waves. Or ideally, to relax and trust that we'll get to where we need to go, that the ocean will carry us, that some kind of divine intelligence will bring us to where we need to be. And that way, ideally, we can relax all of that tension, which may not be necessary. Because either way, there we are in the mystery, in the unknown, and we could either be holding on for dear life, or we could just relax and trust. So the antidote to fear is trust. How is your water element? How are your kidneys?